See, this is the problem with losing weight. I've lost quite a bit of weight, chubbies. I've lost quite a few stone, and when you lose weight and your skin's old and knackered, it doesn't go back to shape. Look at that. I've got a vagina neck. It's a vagina. I need to put weight back on. Good morning, Chubby Chasers. This video is a particularly important video for me, and I was inspired to make this video this morning. For a while, I've been dropping a few hints about things that have been going on in the background in my own life, and I was due to make some kind of announcement to you in the short future, but I received a video this morning by somebody in Australia, and after receiving this video, do you know, I really felt inspired to let a few of you know exactly what's happening here at Fat Paramotor HQ, and let you know a little bit about my own dreams and my plans for the future. I know there's been a few rumours kicking around, and people have started to figure out that there are things happening here. So let me give you a bit of a background story. A few of you probably already know from watching the channel, but I released a video about 5 years ago. I'll put the video up here. I think up here, is it on this side? I don't know which way it'll be on the camera, or is it on this side? But I'll put a video up for you. This was a video I made 5 years ago on my 50th birthday. And the birthday was about my plans to step backwards from what I do for a living and to do more with my life and to live my life. And those of you who know, well, watch the video first, but you know that I am a doctor. I work in the medical profession. I've worked in the medical profession for a few years, and it's a tiring profession. You know, I work inside all the time. I work a lot of strange hours. I work with illness. I work with difficulty, and I work in challenging situations. And what I don't get to see a lot of is the outdoors, and it's been pretty hectic. And 5 years ago, I decided to step back a little bit from work and to do things that I enjoy, to live life a little bit more for myself. It was the reason I left Australia, because to be in Australia, I had to have a working visa, and the working visa meant that I had to work full time, and I wanted to stop working full time. So that kind of forced me to leave Australia and move back to Europe. Now, while I was in Australia, though, I was inspired greatly by a couple of people who helped me achieve a dream. And those two people were Matt Fox from Tribal Flight and also Bob Bauer from Discovery Paramotors and Retractor Trike. And what happened is I was a heavy guy, not so fit, struggling with my weight at 146 kilograms to learn to fly a paramotor. And what happened was I stumbled across Matt Fox, and Matt Fox did wonders to actually get a fat guy like me flying. And part of his getting me flying meant that Matt had quite a few conversations with Bob Bauer of Discovery Paramotors, because Bob sells Bob's equipment. Now, Bob's a guy who does own Discovery Paramotors and Retractor Trike, but Bob's own motivations really are about the love of flying and the love of aviation and seeing people use his products to fly. He's not 100% commercially motivated, because he does have a business elsewhere that's not to do with paramotors that consumes most of his time. But Bob and Matt got together, and they conversed, and they got me flying in one of Bob's Discovery Paramotors. That was the Discovery 3, and the Retractor Trike, which is kind of a sister company. Now, I was completely enamoured with that, the whole process, how Matt worked hard with me to get me flying, just how patient he was, how good he was. And I was particularly inspired. And I started this YouTube channel because, you know, I was a bit of a fat guy who wasn't really taking myself very seriously at all, because I didn't really expect that I was going to get very far. It was all a little bit tongue-in-cheek and a little bit of a laugh. But Matt managed to get me off the ground. And since starting this YouTube channel, I've found that other people have been motivated by what I do, and I've kind of developed a little bit of a following of people who are similar, people who are either too heavy, a little bit old, infirm, who really struggle with the usual idea of what a paramotor pilot might be. And I have that kind of following. I received a lot of criticism, I'll be honest with you. You know, I've had quite a bit of criticism for what I do and what goes on. But still, I feel as though I've been a motivation to quite a lot of people. And from that inspiration came my idea of what to do with my own future life. But when I go back to the UK, we had a problem because the whole COVID thing happened, and that kind of dragged me a little bit away from some of the dreams that I had, because I ended up being drawn back into full-time work in the hospital because of the whole COVID thing. So I ended up going back on the full-time rota to help out with COVID. And that's kind of going on for 3 years ago now. And as we have slowly progressed back to normality, I'm trying to get myself back on track with this dream. But we're 5 years on now. So I've become acutely aware of just how fast time is flying and how I'm heading towards those retirement years and, you know, into the grey-silver period of my own life. So what have my motivations been? I've had this idea for a while now of using the YouTube channel, using the following and using the motivation to try and help other people like myself fly. And I know that's been a motivation for Bob. I know that's a motivation for Matt. And it's certainly been motivation for myself. And this is what I wanted to try and do, is I wanted to try and be a little bit of a motivating channel for other people who might not see themselves as a paramotor pilot to realise that you too can fly. This is an accessible form of aviation that's not too expensive. It's about the price of a good motorcycle, and you'd be surprised who is able and capable to actually participate in this sport with the right equipment. Now, this has all been going on in the background. Fat Paramotor HQ, the new airfield, a few of you have known that I've even started to get involved in the commercial aspect of a few bits, which is not the primary focus of what I'm doing. And I wanted to kind of reveal things a little bit later, but this video I received this morning really hit the nail on the head of exactly what it is that I'm wanting to do in the future. And because of that, I've asked permission from the guy who sent me this video whether I could show it. And just watch this. He made this video for me. He is really plug in the Discovery 4 Paramotor, which is not in the UK, but the Discovery Paramotor, but it's really more about his journey to be able to fly. Now, this guy, as you can see, has some issues with his own physical ability, but he's not let this stop him at all. And Bob has helped this guy get into the air, and after seeing the video, I was completely moved by it. I really was. I've watched this video about 10 times. He sent it me in little stages, little bits. I've stitched it together.
So here we are. I'm just putting this video together to just quickly show you the new prototype D4. I just flew it this morning. I've been too busy to living to make a video. But this is it. This is how it just fits into me van, just sitting in there, and all the rest of the bits are in here. I can actually fit it in this little chimney here, a whole lot of it. I'll just pull it out. Here we are, the new D4. What a lucky guy am I. This is the bomb. Check out how quick you can fly with one of these. It's a much roomier design. It's a bit wider across here in the J bars. I'm not real able-bodied, but even a full-on half-disabled like me can put this together. I'm really making this movie for the Fat Paramotor man. I love the Fat Paramotor man. He's trying to show the world that anyone can do shit. And seriously, there's never been a better time to be alive, people. 100%. Like, we can get in the car and press the button for aircon. I can drive up the road and fly this thing for 2-3 hours as long as I want. It was a perfect Sunday morning this morning. Unbelievable. I'm not practiced at this, but this is all you got to do to get into the skies with one of these. But this particular paramotor, this is my second one. The first one I had was a D3, and it was what I honestly believe, without any doubt, the best paramotor in the world. And the only thing that could have ever gotten better was that it got stronger, bigger, easier to get out of. This is the one. The hang point isn't low. It's not quite as wildly manoeuvrable, but I can sit in the seat. Yesterday morning I'm sitting in the seat. My wing is jumping around all over the shop and I'm just sitting reasonable. It's a much, much, much nicer ride. I love this paramotor. I loved my last one, the D3. I loved it. But the D3 was a 3-part cage. I was used to be a little bit scared of two things flying paramotors. I was terrified that I wouldn't be able to fit my 3-part cage together. That was my first fear. I was scared that I wouldn't be able to put that bit in. This part of the 3-part cage really clips in a bit hard. You have to have a special technique to get it in. And that was always a little bit of a concern for me. This 4-part cage, man, even if my nerves didn't work at all and I didn't have any control of my fingers, I would be able to build this. This is like unbelievably simple, easy, and I'd say 20 times stronger than the D3, which was the strongest light paramotor I'd ever seen. And I've seen quite a few. It took me a long time to learn how to fly. I broke a lot of shit. The bloke that taught me to fly, it was like, I was there for a long time, man. I busted myself up. I was like there more than 6 months. I was there a very long time. If you're looking for a trainer that's going to stay with you and go the distance, Matthew Fox, 100%. I don't think there's another one on earth that would have stuck with me like he has. But this thing, built by Bob Bauer, let me tell you, like, I'm slow, man. I'm slow and it takes me a while, and I don't even care if it takes me an hour. But this don't. Like, this morning, I hadn't even planned or been prepared to fly. And I just woke up after the sun had poked its head. And I went, it's on and it's perfect. And I had shit everywhere, all through here. Have a quick look at how organised sort of a guy I am. And I went and flew and had one of the best flies of my life. Yeah, baby, everyone needs to do this.
Yeah, baby, this is living. It's like butter up here today. Absolutely magnificent. Up here and up.
I was so moved and motivated that I thought, shit, I've got to get this out there. I've got to let people see exactly what it is that's been driving me and motivating me. And you can see where we're going with the whole Fat Paramotor HQ, the airfield, and the time I've been spending with Northern Skies paramotoring for this future dream of being able to help people learn to fly who are less able, fatter, older, whatever it is, people who would normally have difficulty physically with the traditional foot launch paramotoring. So I've also been down to Boar Chasers this weekend. Simon Westermore, thanks a lot, mate. It was a great weekend. I just went for one day. It was bloody freezing. I think it was about 5 degrees, and everybody was shivering and complaining of the cold. But it didn't stop people from flying. You can't believe how many people were actually up there buzzing around. The kids there as well. Kids ground handling, it was amazing. So I've got some video footage of that. Simon, thank you very much. He's from Paramotor Club. I've still got like a teenager look with the still wearing the festival wristband. So that's Paramotor, paramotorclub.org. A few of you will have heard of that. That's here in the UK. So thank you for that little bit of footage of that. Strange looking machine, I'm sure that would never fly.
It's him.
Hello. How are you doing, mate?
It's the way forward.
Is it? So I want to thank Gary Bell. That was Gary Bell in that video. Thank you, Gary, very much for providing me with that video. I really did appreciate it. It really did move me. Particularly because on this channel, I've received a lot of criticism over the years, over the last 5 years, and quite a bit recently as well, as I've been putting on my ducks in a row, ready for the future. And that video really has re-inspired me again to realise what it is that I want to do, and so I do thank you for that. And to reiterate again to others, the plan is, it's a bit of a long goal plan over the next couple of years, but I want to start a club here, Fat Paramotor HQ, and we want to get involved in training and aiming solely, well not solely, but aiming primarily at pilots like myself who might be lacking the confidence to be able to give this paramotoring malarkey a go, but making themselves feel a lack of confidence because of lack of physical ability. And that's what I want to do. I want to be involved in that, and it really is about this goal of spending the next 10 years of my life before official retirement, spending my time doing something that I think I'm going to enjoy and that I think is worthwhile, and that's my motivation. So what else? I wanted to tell you as well, while I was at Boar Chasers, in the back of Daniel Jones's seedy white van, we've boshed out another podcast. So if you've ever wondered where the Fat Paramotor podcast is broadcast from, It's from Dan Jones, a seedy white van. And there's his spy hole. This is where he keeps all his kidnappees. There you go, little hole to say hello and to feed them. Dan's van. And as you know, Daniel is the British Paramotor Open champion. He won the championship for 2023, and Daniel is now on the committee. And we've done a little bit of a podcast about that because I'm entering. Can you believe it? So the Fat Paramotor guy is entering the British Open Championships 2023. And I was going to leave the reveal for a little bit later, but I think now's probably a good time. So check out the podcast. I'll put the link down below. As I make this video, it's still in edit. By the time I post it, the edit might be finished, and I might put the link below. If not, I'll stick the link in a little bit afterwards, but you'll probably see it on all the socials. But check that out. But check me out too at the British Open Championships. The idea is to promote the idea that you don't have to be Superman or whatever to be able to enter into a paramotor competition. It's very inclusive. Trike pilots are included, and pilots of all abilities. I believe they've even had a club pilot class, and but there's certainly a novice class there, or people can just join and enter in the full competition if they want to. You don't get any disrespect for coming last, because that's like to be me anyway. But if you are beaten by the Fat Paramotor guy, then you should hang your head in shame, I think. But if I can join it, anybody can. So let's see you at the championships. So that's basically it. British Open Championships, Fat Paramotor HQ, future goals. Thank you, Gary. Love you, and I love what you do. Thanks to all the motivators in my life, Bob Bauer and Matt Fox. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button, give me the thumbs up, click the bell icon, that way you get notifications. And I'll see you very, very soon in the next video. Bye for now.